All right, we're here in Hageman, New York to look at a property. And normally in my videos, I show you homes that I already own. And I tell you exactly what we're gonna do and I show you the before and after. Today's video is gonna be different. I don't own this house yet and I don't even know if I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna walk through with you, show you exactly what I'll do. And at the end, we'll talk about the dollars and we'll see if it actually makes sense to buy this house. So the first thing I do when I look at a property is the development, right? I like properties that are in developments, not on highways, not in rural areas. This development is great. There's a lot of houses. It makes it very easy to comp. So that's always step number one. Is the house easy to comp? Give us our starting point, our after repair value, and then we work our numbers back to see if it makes sense. So let's check out the inside. We'll see if I'm gonna buy this place. All right, coming in here in the living room first. All these houses have the exact same smell. It's a moldy, musty, vacant smell. I think this house has been vacant, they said, for 3 or 4 years. I think the current owner did some work already, ripped up these carpets and some furniture already kind of moved around. So first thing we'll do, obviously, is take out this slate floor. This is very dated. Try to open things up where we can. This always looks very 1970s to me. Normally we remove it when we can. The problem with removing it is you don't necessarily know what's behind it. Sometimes the sheetrock is damaged. We've had some luck recently of painting this to modernize it a little bit, and that makes it a little bit faster. And normally what I've been doing is just vinyl click-in flooring throughout the whole house. So we'll probably demo that portion up and then just go one floor through here. Windows are old. Obviously, we'll have to paint everything, all new lighting, replace all the windows. I do like the fireplace. Only issue with the fireplace is today's design. We try to open things up where we can, and obviously that right in the middle of the house is gonna prevent us from opening up a lot of walls, but it does look nice. It's a nice feature. We'll paint it. Obviously, we'll get rid of the mirror, we'll get rid of the cover, and we'll paint this fireplace and clean it out. So it'll look a lot better if we do this one. So. All right, let's check out the rest of the house. Ooh, rough kitchen, but aren't they all? All right, obviously this is gonna probably be a full demo on the kitchen. I don't think there's too much of a chance to really salvage any of this. Floors gotta come up. It's a shame too, we have hardwood floors, but there was some water damage here. Obviously in these old houses, there's lots of leaks. Actually the plumbing looks repaired, but all obviously rotten through here. So it's a shame to rip up hardwood floor, but it's all coming out. We'll probably do vinyl floor in here too, different than the floor out there, just to kind of have some separation. But let's talk cabinets for a second. It's easy to say to just remove all the cabinets and use them, but I always try to keep cabinets if we can. Now these are very old, so I'm 99% sure we're gonna replace these. But when you replace cabinets, it's not only the cost of the cabinets, but it extends so much time to the job. So you'd have to demo everything, then bring the kitchen guy in to measure everything, order the cabinet, we'll give you the design, you approve the design, that takes a couple of days. Then they order the cabinets, 4 to 6 weeks to get them delivered. Then you gotta put in the lower cabinets, then bring the countertop guy in to measure the countertops, and then the countertops take 4 to 6 weeks. So if you redo the cabinets, it just adds 6, 7, 8 weeks to the job. If you can keep the cabinets, now your demo is different. You just demo the countertops off and the sink, and you can immediately the next day bring in the countertop guy to measure and start that clock that much faster. So anytime you can save cabinets, it speeds up your job. But obviously drop ceiling's got to come down. You need traditional lighting in here. There's no pantry. And it's going to be difficult to open this up at all because we have a staircase here and then the fireplace is on the other side of that. So it still will be a cramped kitchen no matter what we do. But all right, a lot of work to do here. And obviously we got to replace the windows here too. Oh boy. All right. Look at this. This is right out of what do you think? Late 60s, early 70s. This is wild. Look at this. Looks like Liberace lived here. Jeez. Obviously, this is all coming out. Wallpaper's got to go. Lighting's got to go. Vanity bathroom. This floor is going to be a little bit of an issue. It's raised up quite a bit. There's probably a 3-inch gap right there. So we'd have to put, ideally, you would demo this floor out and then put a new floor in. That gets challenging because all the plumbing's been raised. We'll probably put a new floor right over the top of this and then have to build that floor up to make it a kind of level. But we'll get rid of the doors. We'll retile that shower. And then, wait a minute. We got the full bath there, and right off of it is another full bathroom. All right. This is interesting. Okay. All right. So I guess the room behind there is the master. This is the master bathroom, and then that's the main bathroom, and they have an opening to use it all. Obviously, this is narrow. This all has to come out as well. We probably keep that shower, but the rest of it all has to go. All right, standard basement, but we got some water issues. All right. Okay. Yep, we got 2 or 3 inches of standing water. But it does look like it's coming out of the pipe, so we probably could cap it pretty easily. But standard basement, I do like the ceiling height in here. Normally in basements, all we really do is clean them out. And then I'm big on painting everything. We'll dry lock the walls. I used to use white. Now we use like a light gray. We do a darker gray on the floor. And then lately I've been painting all the ceilings black. I think it just hides things. It makes things look fresh. And then if it's too dark down here, just simply add a little bit of recessed lighting to the ceiling, and it gives it a really clean, finished look. All right, let's talk some math, right? Because we just looked at the property, and I got to see if this house makes sense to buy. They want close to $200,000 for this. As I said before, the after repair value in this area is around $325,000, maybe a little more. Maybe if we do a great job, it's $350,000. But we always have to err on the lower side of that. So I can't pay anywhere near what they're asking for this house. Kitchen, we have 2 bathrooms to do, flooring throughout the entire house, paint through everything, all new trim work. There's a lot of work to do here. Appliances, backsplash, right? It can add up quick. So with what we normally spend on a house of this size between labor and materials, and there's still a lot of unknowns, right? We got that water in the basement that we got to fix. Also snowed yesterday, so I don't know how the roof looks. Part of the roof looks okay that I could see, but tough to see the whole thing. So we have to take all that into consideration. So with that being said, the normal rule of thumb that I have is whatever we're going to sell the property for, I can't really pay more than 50% of that. So if we're going to sell it for around $300,000, I got to be somewhere around $150,000. That's going to give me enough cushion, if you will, to pay for labor, all materials, holding costs, right? I got to pay taxes on the property while I have it, homeowner's insurance, power bills, all those things have to be factored into my number. Then I pay a real estate agent to sell it on the back end. There's closing costs, attorneys. Everybody makes money off these flips, not just me. And then I have to ensure that I have a profit margin. So we need to be somewhere around $150,000 on this house as my maximum. So we're going to start a little below that and start the negotiation process. So stay tuned for future videos. You'll get to see the after of this. And one thing we forgot to do, I've said on other videos that we never open up the refrigerator. Who's curious to see what's in this thing? Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Should we keep the fridge? I don't think so. Obviously, I don't recommend you open that. It's going to stink this place up even more than it already smells. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the after and find out if we actually buy this house.